This is Evil's Comics. I'm Evil Mike, and I got a DIY video for you. I have reviewed this comic recently. This is Plastic from Image Comics. This is the one I ordered online. It is a very white cover, and the only problem with this comic is there's a little bit like staining on the white. So I've always been curious to see if I can clean that. I've had okay progress with what do you call it, with sticker removal. So we're gonna try and see if I can get some of this white to be whiter. Honestly, that's the only thing wrong with this, is the white is a little dirty. I went ahead and bought some of these. These are high polymer erasers from Pentel. I don't know what type of white erasers to use, so I kind of went with the more expensive eraser for my first try versus a cheap. So I'm gonna try this. I'm a little nervous because, you know, it's paper, and I'm actually gonna flip it upside down, so I have the spine on the other side, and I'm just gonna see if I can see anything. Let me see if I can get this on camera so you can see what I'm doing. But basically, I'm just looking for some of the dirtier parts. And now it is taking some of the blue off, and I don't want that. I didn't really mean to go over the blue. Not anything noticeable yet, but I did notice it start to move some of the color around. So let's not. So I can see it is working on the white parts. It might be really hard to tell on the camera because, I mean, I don't even know if y'all can see the dirt that's kind of right here around that. I'm going to let you look at it, and then I'm going to try and clean it, and we'll see what we get. Hope everyone is having a great evening. Most everybody should be in bed. It's about 1 o'clock in the morning. This is pretty early for me, actually. This is about noon. Yeah, and this works. I mean, the dirt comes right off. As I've already seen, it works on the color as well. So if you are trying this at home, I want to suggest, stay away from the color, because when I did the blue, I don't know if you can see it, but it kind of started taking the blue off as well. I'm just kind of going to go over some of the dirtier areas that I can see. Yeah, and this eraser works really well. I can actually see a major difference already in just the areas that I did. I don't know how well that picks up right there, but I just did that little area right there, and there's a major difference. I don't know how well it pops up, but there still is a lot of dirt up here, so I'm kind of gonna quickly tackle that while I have it out. Man, that is amazing. Yeah, and you gotta be careful around the color. It does take off the color as well. I guess because it is a ink. I'm pretty sure on like foil cover, stuff like that, the ink will be matted or glossed on. So I don't think there's a problem there. And I mean, I don't know if y'all can see the difference. I mean, it's white, so, but I mean, all that right there. It's not perfectly clean, I didn't, but there is a major difference. That's amazing. I never would have figured an eraser, Now I will say I've used erasers before. If you didn't know this, erasers are really good at cleaning electronic parts, specifically anything with a copper finish on it, a lot of wires, and you know, different parts of electronics, they do use copper, especially like old school NES games. When when you actually take it apart and get in the inside and you get to the connector pieces, they're usually made out of copper. You can clean it with several different things, but erasers and man, erasers and baking soda are like my best friends when it comes to video games. They do amazing work. And look at that, man. Yeah, y'all probably can't even see it, but this really does work on the white. I kind of been wanting to try this because I knew Jerry, and I talk about Jerry. Jerry, I have looked on YouTube to try and find other people like you that have attempted to try and clean or preserve comics, and Jerry, you are the only one that I know of. I'm not going to say that I'm in that category, my little DIY, but for me this is all like just learning. I love learning little tips and tricks like this, especially since this is not, I don't think this right here would affect any kind of grading that you would get from CGC or any of those type of companies, because technically, I mean, I don't think this is going to show anything with this eraser. It just comes off. I mean, if you noticed, I've been wiping it off. I want to suggest when you're doing this, make sure your hands are clean. If you're trying to get white, it's probably not a good thing to have your hands dirty. I would highly suggest when handling comics, if y'all notice in my videos, I touch comics with my hands a lot. My hands do not perspirate at all. It has the fact to do with I don't have any nerves in specifically my arms and my shoulders, especially with my left arm. But so my hands don't really perspire as it is. When I do handle older comics, Golden Age or Silver Age, I do wear gloves, but it's more along the lines of the paper is very old, brittle, that kind of thing. It's not because when I read comics, I don't wear gloves to begin with, and it's because I'm an adult. I know who I am, and I think the only times my hands ever sweat is, it's got to be like a high up anxiety type moment for me or something like that. But my hands do not really sweat in general, so I would highly suggest if you have sweaty hands, and some of us do, there's nothing wrong with that. It's not anything you can control, I don't think. But if you have sweaty hands, I would recommend wearing gloves, especially when you're handling comics or it's paper, so and I'm not trying to insinuate or say anything, but I do know, I've had friends and family members that have had these sweaty palms. Yeah, man, this eraser is phenomenal. I wish I would have known about this. I have some other comics that I want to try this on, because Image does use a very papery finish, but yeah, this eraser is really working. I wasn't even sure what this stuff was, if it was dirt or that looks a million times better. It already looked good, I'm specifically talking about the white on the comic. The rest of the comic, I'm pretty sure it might be dirty, but it's harder to tell. But just on the white parts alone, it just, I can really see a difference. I hope y'all can see on the camera, and you're just not watching me wave a eraser around. But yeah, there is a major difference. This is really neat. I love when you learn something like this and it actually works. I've done so many DIYs, and a lot of them do not work. I think maybe they're tricks, or I have no idea, but there's so many DIY videos that I have tried. They're like, hey, this works on this, and you can do this, and a lot of them do not. Maybe they're trying to prank you. I don't know. I do really appreciate the ones that are out there sharing, DIYs, especially if they are money-saving techniques. Stuff like this. Look at how simple and quick this was. You know, and if you are somebody that's sending stuff off to CGC, and you know, this is something you can do, you know, before you send it out, and you know, get it cleaned and pressed, that kind of thing. Save some time for that guy that is cleaning and pressing, kind of thing. I don't know, man. It looks like it really worked. I am really satisfied with this. I mean, all the, I want to say there are a little dirty parts, but I don't know. But that's all I got. This high polymer eraser worked out. As you can tell, the comic looks a lot cleaner. I kind of went all the way around. It looks a million times better. Alright, YouTube. I hope you enjoyed this. Like, comment, subscribe. You know, tell me if you've ever tried anything like this, or if this is the first time you're seeing something like this. Let's hear how amazed you are. I don't know. I'll see y'all next time. Evil out.